Hello! We've got an incredible amount of content packed into today's lineup, with both Forza Horizon 5 and Forza Motorsport on the menu.
So going forward, we really want to have an identity, like Torben says, per series. So really have like a really strong theme that kind of filters down throughout everything we do that month.
Yeah.
And Scott has made this lovely poster, the Horizon Road Trip, beautiful artwork, got little bits of Mexico within the text. The road trip is a love letter to racing. So we know the players love our racing series, the World Cup, the Ramos racing history. So we wanted to bring that back, but with a little twist. So each week we kind of focus on a different type of racing. So one week will be road racing, another street, for example. And we've thrown in a few endurance races, so some of the championships are a bit longer than usual.
And there are 3 new to Forza reward cards in this series you may have spotted along the way. So shall we take a spin in some of them? The first up being that Audi RS e-tron, which I think, Torben, you want to read to the screen and just take out and run off with.
Yes, this is quite a hero car. It's the hero car of the series. It's on the poster, and it's just loads of fun to drive, because like all EVs, it's just torque. It just goes. So these are APR brands, and this is really kind of focused on Volkswagen Audi, on the Volkswagen Audi group of cars. This particular one is for the Mark 6 Golf R, for the demonstrator version, but I mean, what it adds in is a really nice broad stance that will make it really good for road racing, widening the car's kind of track width, making it more stable across the board. A big old wing on it for that sweet additional aero. It just kind of allows you to take this car and push it way up in classes, and still have something that performs and is really visually striking.
I am excited to be joined by Dan Greenewalt, the General Manager of Forza Motorsport, and Chris Asaki, the Creative Director at Turn 10 Studios.
Super excited to be in production as a team, heads down till we go pencils down in the beginning of next year, and then we'll re-engage and start talking about this amazing game.
You know, this next year, it's the year of Forza Motorsport. It's going to be great.
Hello, Forza fans. I am Leviathan, and it is a pleasure to welcome everyone to the October edition of Forza Monthly. Each month, we bring you the latest updates from the official world of Forza, and I'm very excited for today's show because it is something rather special. 10 years ago this month, Playground Games debuted the original Forza Horizon, and now they are encapsulating the last 10 years of Horizon history into the latest series update for Forza Horizon 5. We've got the details on that and a whole lot more for you today, so let's bring up the schedule and get into it. In just a moment, I'll be passing over to Charlie because she is hanging out with Playground Games to bring you the inside scoop on the Forza Horizon 5 10-year anniversary content update. And after that, I'll introduce you to a brilliantly talented designer in this month's Community Spotlight, the one and only PTG Fluex. And then we'll catch up with Ali Tak on the recent and upcoming community-driven events. But that is not all, because the celebrations will continue at Playground Game right after Forza Monthly, so be sure to stick around to rejoin Charlie and the gang for a deep dive on the 10-year anniversary content right after this show. And if you are not sure what all this 10-year anniversary hype is all about, well, I think it's time we take a quick detour down memory lane, and then Charlie and Playground will be welcoming you right back to have a little chat about everything. Enjoy this.
Everything I need is right in front of me. It's yours to keep. All the time will you be ready? Always
Hello everybody, I am Charlie and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here at Playground Games once again with some of my favourite people on this planet. Joining me are familiar faces, game designer Kelly Boyle and Torben Ellert, and Mr. Carman himself, it's Chris Phillips is joining us. It's a pleasure to see you all again. We're going to have a chat individually, but Kelly, we're going to come to you first. As Leah said, and as I have said multiple times, we are celebrating 10 years of Forza Horizon history in this content update, and you pretty much lead the charge on it. So fill us in. What is this update all about?
Yep, so the Horizon 10-year anniversary is a celebration of Horizon since 2012, so when we were back in Colorado, and we're celebrating all 4 games from the UK, Europe, Australia, Colorado, and we're going to show you everything today that we've got planned.
Amazing. Torben, down to you. I think it's no secret that you love a nice, big, juicy Easter egg, so there must be loads coming up, right?
Way too many to mention.
Fantastic.
I think my favourite one is probably Scott Tyler as the narrator in the Horizon story. Because he's the only character who's carried through all of the games. But his recollection of events is a little patchy.
Somewhat different. Okay, interesting. More on that soon. And then we're going to come over to Chris in the middle, as you excitingly and amazingly have been at Playground Games through the development of all 5 Horizon titles. A, congratulations. B, which installment for you brings back the best memories?
That's a really tough one. It's like asking someone who their favourite child is. Or in my case, my
I'd never
favourite car.
do it to you.
I think Horizon 1, just for nostalgia,
Yeah.
but they're all very special to me.
Amazing. And before we move on, actually, I want to ask each of you, Kelly, when did you join the Horizon team?
So I joined on Horizon 5, I played all the games, loved them, so this update was super exciting to work
Dream
on for
come
me.
true to join the team, yeah?
Yep.
Amazing. Torben, what about you? When did you join?
I joined at the beginning of 4.
Lovely.
I would say 3 is probably my favourite.
Fantastic, lovely. So, as we mentioned, the Horizon 10-year anniversary update is full of great content, including Horizon Origins, a brand new Horizon story. Kelly, can you set the scene for us of what this is and what it is folks can look forward to?
Yep, so when we think of Horizon, we think of all the games, so we wanted to celebrate that with a story. So through the story, we have a really cool first chapter where you kind of play in Mexico, get a nice introduction, and then you flow through all of kind of similar recreations of the initial drives from all the games. And we've got like a really cool new thing coming to the series, and Torben, I don't know if you want to explain that.
Absolutely. So over the past couple of series, we've been looking at how we strengthen each series' individual identity. We've had Road Trip, we've had Made in Mexico, and this is Horizon Origins. But at the start of this series, the very first experience the players will have is loading straight into a really fun initial experience, is what we call it, kind of internal language. But you won't be going to the house, you won't be seeing festival playlists or going through menus, it'll be straight into some really
Shove you
fun
straight
driving.
into it. Lovely.
And we won't show that today because we want that to kind of have people experience that.
Everyone needs to experience that themselves.
Yes.
You know? Yes, lovely. So where are we going to be jumping in then? Because we've got to show everyone at home something.
Yes, so today we're going to jump into Chapter 2, which is Horizon Colorado. And as you play through them, you kind of play through the cover cars. You have a kind of Scott Tyler with you, explaining what's happening, giving you a bit of context. But yeah, so...
Cool. Okay, so we're jumping in, and this is the second installment, right?
Yes.
So this is a celebration of Horizon.
Okay, awesome.
So I think everyone's going to be super happy to see what happens here. But we've brought Darius Flint back for a nice little race. Yeah.
Ooh, ready, Chris?
Didn't do well earlier in this, so... Let's see.
You're going to have the most nostalgic community when it comes to video games this month, I think, but just by the sheer quantity of things I've heard we've got on the way.
There's so many Easter eggs everywhere, from the music, from the cars. It just feels like we're taking you back there, but in Mexico, which is really interesting. We've got different props that are in Event Lab that are also in the story. And
Darius absolutely reverting to form with cutting the corners there.
so we've tried to, I've spent many a time watching all the initial drives and trying to recreate them little moments, such as smashing through the benches or the music playing in the background. So yes, very, very nostalgic.
And the car's a special one as well, right?
Yes, yeah, I don't know. Yes. This one is the Anniversary Edition Dodge Viper, and you'll earn this for completing the story. So 5 chapters, you don't have to 3 stars, just 1 star through each. And, yeah.
And so we'll probably deep dive on that a little bit, but it looks like... I mean, he's not sticking to the roads, is he? So I don't see why you should.
Yeah, it's not as fast as I remember. He's clearly getting old.
Oh, look, that there.
Yeah, there was a festival outpost.
There was a festival, yeah. Right, you can do this. This corner's so
Not
good.
fall off the bridge.
Very nice, amazing.
And a little tip for everyone, you can take a massive shortcut down the end of this straight.
There's no checkpoints on this race.
No checkpoints, no.
Ah,
So you can cut corners just like Darius did.
you can cheat as much as he does.
Exactly.
That's the thing I always love doing when we're building stories, is kind of messing with the rules and giving players opportunities to really do kind of cheeky, creative things. Like
Here we go. See you, Darius. Bye-bye. Enjoy your corner.
in earlier testing, you punted him.
We don't talk about that.
Okay, yes. We won't talk about what happened to Darius in previous testing, and it was rough on the push-up.
Oh, I think you've got him there.
Yes,
No chance.
Easy win.
easy win. Easy.
But obviously, if you think of Horizon 1, you obviously remember the Lakeside Diner. So this cinematic has been created by Stu and Whedon's, and it's absolutely amazing. Back to the diner, back in the Colorado. Sorry, I messed it there.
It's easy to do.
Colorado, they're very similar. But yeah, so very cool cutscenes, very cool feel.
Just really recreating the vibes.
Even the lighting, like the time of day, it's the exact golden hour kind of vibe of the first one for this drive.
We always keep going into silence when the
Yes,
It's
Oh, we
a
just
stunned,
adore it.
awed silence, though, isn't it? It's fantastic.
So much nostalgia.
we look at this all the time when we're building it, but still just pushes those buttons.
It's things like that cinematic with the door closing and things like that. I really remember that.
So
So how long have you been working on this for then, behind the scenes? Because, I mean, you can tell we've only been deep dived this in like 5 minutes and there's so much detail. Like, how long has this taken for you to pull together?
So we had like obviously we knew the date was coming up,
Uh-huh.
October, for the 10-year anniversary. So for quite a long time now, I don't know exactly, but we had like a really cool brainstorm, threw all our ideas on the table, and then I went away and kind of took out the best bits and put this plan together. And then the team have just gone above and beyond for this update with like from environment art, like cinematics, like everyone has just put so much love into this update. Everyone loves Horizon, and everyone wanted to make this the best possible.
I love that idea you say of everyone bringing ideas, of there being like a meeting where everyone comes in like, I really love this from 1 and this was my favourite thing from 2, and just bringing it all together. That must have been
It
such a
happened
good
through the
vibe.
entire process, right? I mean, those water towers there. It's just like suddenly comes in, just someone's like, we can bring the water towers back, and then suddenly you see it. Just such an expression of love for all of the games, and being able to, Kelly, the way you've managed to recreate these in Mexico, that ride into the light there, it's just amazing.
Yeah, so we've tried as hard as possible to recreate them little moments. I spent many hours watching YouTube videos of all the drives and going down, placing a flag exactly where it was.
Can I just say, my God.
So this story goes live with this series, but it's a permanent part of the game, right?
Yes, yes. So you can play this story after the anniversary series anytime.
And race to the festival, of course.
Perfect. Well, a special story like this does, of course, deserve a special reward. And we do have a video here of the reward card that players can earn for completing the Horizon Origins Horizon story. So, let's have a look at this. I mean, the trailer alone, I think, brings up enough nostalgia as it is. Chris, I know it saw you getting particularly excited during that. Was there anything in there that stood out to you?
Well, earlier on I spotted the day-night change alongside the lake, which is a bit like the reservoir. And I just spotted another one there, which is the Viper weaving in and out of traffic, which is, I think, one of the first shots in the Horizon 1 launch trailer.
There you go. Nerds through and through here. Absolutely love it. We have the car with us here today in the studio, I wish, in brackets. So do you want to take us for a spin and tell us a little bit about this majestic vehicle?
For sure. So we felt it was fitting for the 10-year anniversary of Horizon 1 to do a very special version of the cover car. So that was the Viper, 2013 Viper. So this is the Forza Anniversary edition of the Viper. So much like we do with Forza Editions, it is a bit different. So it's tuned to the top of S1. It's kind of a track car. But Forza Editions tend to get some special stuff applied to them. So if I jump into the garage, eagle-eyed viewers may have already spotted in some of the screenshots. It has some rather special parts you can apply to it.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to go into here, and there's an upgrade preset that does it for you. So the normal Viper, it's a bit outgunned against Darius Flint and his 599XX. So with this preset,
you can embarrass Darius.
this is very fast. This is puts it to the top of S2. A lot of downforce for players that like leaderboards. We've benchmarked it. It's up there with some of the best cars right now. So,
Wow,
yeah, it's,
okay.
very, very fast, this thing.
And how did we get it again?
Completing the origin story.
Yes, yeah.
Lovely. Awesome stuff. So that's the Viper and Horizon Origins, but there is significantly more to go through. So I think maybe the first stop is the festival playlist. Let's have a look and see what we've got coming up for the anniversary update.
But 2 cars for the series rewards. So I had to get McLaren in there, similar to the Horizon 4 cover car. And then we brought back the Ruling Sunshine. Great car, great body kit. Players love this one, yeah.
The thing just to call out, you can see the gold poster there on the right. That is how you can trigger and replay the series initial experience.
Oh, nice.
And we put those posters in a couple of series back because we knew this was coming.
Very good. The prep that goes on here is just tremendous. So should we take a have a look? Sure, let's take a have a look at summer, shall we?
Yes, so for summer, if we go to the left, we've got the 2 reward cars. So the Ferrari, which we'll come to in a minute, and the Barracuda. And then every week, there is a lot of challenges with the cover cars. If you go and play the bonus board challenge, collect them every week, that will give you the cover car. So that's the best thing to do first, get the cover car, and then you can go and do a lot of the challenges. So if we go through, we've got a few event labs this week. And each week the PR stunts are themed to kind of similar ones that were brought out in that game. So Horizon 1 had a lot of speed traps. So this week's full of speed traps if you like them.
Sense, yeah.
And then our championships are themed to the locations. So we've got a lot of kind of USA references, Dodges, muscle cars.
Nice.
Just have a lot of fun there. And then each week the photo challenge can be taken at a new festival outpost with added. So Adam and the team have placed 4, 1 per week. So this one's in the Copper Canyon. We saw it in the story. And it's got a great mural at the back where you can go and take a picture of the cover car.
Amazing.
You're saying 1 per week. There's a little thing that happens once a week that we're not going to talk about. But
oh,
it was
yes.
teased
Very
us a bit.
special thing.
Yes, yes. So every week, make sure you reboot your game when you boot in. You've got a nice little surprise.
Okay. Look at you bringing the Easter eggs. Absolutely love it. Is there anything else we wanted to talk through about this one you wanted to call out, Kelly, before we move on?
Yes, so we can, if you play through the story, you also get a few points of Festival Playlist too. So, yeah,
Nice.
Good to play this month.
Awesome stuff. Well, summer season is naturally a love affair to Colorado and the first Forza Horizon. And we did catch a glimpse in there of the Ferrari 59XX, the new reward car for summer. So I think we've got time to have a look at that one as well, shall we? It's a very stunning one. I don't know, there's something about me and Ferrari Reds. Again, I've said multiple times on this stream, I'm not a car expert. But is Ferrari just notoriously a red thing? Is it just me that's noticed that? Or?
Almost illegal to not have a front.
There we go. I did think there was a thing going there. Thank you for being the expert in the room to help me with these things. God, look at that.
So yeah, the 599XX. So we already have a later version of it in game, the Evolution, but we thought with Horizon 1 it was fitting to bring back Darius's car. So very fond memories of this car, as we saw with the origin story, driving in the initial experience of Horizon 1, you're sort of racing against this, trying to beat Darius.
God, this thing is fast.
So this is like this is a pure track special. It was one of the first that Ferrari did. They did the FXX before it, based loosely on a 599. As I say, pure track car. When you bought it, you don't really get to have it. Ferrari would keep it.
What?
But they would take it to a racetrack for you.
Oh, right, because you're not allowed to drive it around.
Yeah, so it was a bit of like a customer race series, customer track car type thing. Incredibly fast, it's on slicks. One of my favourite things is where you would expect the tail lights to be, the 2 little black eyes on the sides.
Oh.
They are air vents.
Thank you for showing that off, Torben. One more time in case people missed it. There they are.
So yeah, On the road car, where the little black circles are up in the wings, that's where the lights would normally be. For this one, they're down in the bumper. That's because they're grills, and it pipes air through from the front of the car to reduce drag, because behind the car is a big pocket of low pressure that is essentially sucking the car back when you're trying to go forwards. So they put air into that, lowers the pressure, and reduces the drag. One of the features I love on this, and the 599 GTO has it too, if you pan the camera around slightly, the rear, whether it comes down onto the back of the car off the roof, they've tapered the windscreen in and actually made that a gap, and it's to get air to the back of the car, in that case,
there you go.
to get air over the back wing.
Nice little wing.
Not doing great on this speed zone.
No, I'm not, right? No, absolutely not.
If they gave style points in the middle, you smash that. Score-wise, maybe less so.
New PR stunt, stop in the middle of a speed zone and look at your car. I don't know how you would score that, but I'm sure we could solve that if we needed to.
I love the little wings.
Yeah, the little wings, right?
I'm sure they do something.
They look amazing. That's what they do.
Yeah, I think it's airflow management. It's not like a tiny bird.
Fantastic. I love the idea of being a designer, being like, we have this, we have this, and then say it does something good. It just has to do this.
When you get Giuseppe on the show later, get him to say those words. That will be a meme.
Very good. I have to ask, as I always do, any celebrity drivers in this that we're aware of?
I don't know. I thought Michael Schumacher had one, but I think he actually had the FXX. So I don't know if any.
That's open to chat then. Let us know. We are missing that particular detail.
Yes, but I think on driving it, I would rate this about 9.5 right on it.
That's very good. Thank you for sharing that one.
Yes.
I like it. If anyone's keeping a note at home, make sure you pop that one in there. Wonderful. Well, we're going to have a look at the remainder of the cars in the show after this. I know Leah mentioned it for you. We're going to be back right after the show. We're going to go through the rest of the series, the rest of the reward cars, Horizon mixtape, and the return of Midnight Battles, and actually significantly more at the top of the hour. But for us in the room, Kelly, Torben, Chris, amazing work as always on this update. I cannot wait to hear about the rest of it in Let's Go. So make sure everyone, you stick around. I'm going to send you back over to Leah. Behave, and hopefully I'll see you on the next show. Bye everyone.
Joanna, thank you, Charlie. You can join in the Horizon Festival celebrations on Tuesday, October the 11th, when the 10-year anniversary update is released for Forza Horizon 5. And celebrations of Hispanic Heritage Month are also ongoing around Xbox through to the 15th of October. So, if you tune back into Twitch tomorrow, you'll see a special Hispanic Heritage Month edition of Forza Friday. The stream will be hosted by members of Turn 10's Latinx community, who will explore Hispanic-themed event labs, livery designs, and more. We've also invited you to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month by sharing your photos and liveries related to these themes. As always, the community turned up with some amazing creations, and we put together a little video of the winners from weeks 1 and 2, because of course we did. Enjoy, and our community spotlight is coming up next. Lovely photos and impeccable designs, one and all. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who's participated in the Hispanic Heritage Month contest this month. And a huge congrats to all of the winners as well. Speaking of, You might have noticed a familiar name in that video because PTG Fluex had his Nissan GTR Chichen Itza design chosen as a winner in week 31, which will come as no surprise to many, I'm sure, because PTG Fluex's talents for illustration and texture have been gracing car hoods and fenders since the early days of Forza, a very, very long time. Fluex hails from Brazil, so the time difference proved a little bit of a challenge to join us live today, but we were able to find some time earlier this week to sit down and chat about some of his art. So we're going to play that conversation for you right now. Hi, Fluex, and welcome to Forza Monthly. How are you doing today?
Hi, Lee, I'm doing fine. Nice to meet you. I'm glad to be here today.
Absolutely. Pleasure to have you with us today. We are super excited to have you on the show. And as we saw there in that tribute livery to Rio, you are an amazing designer with a very long history in the Forza community as well. So tell us, when did you start playing Forza and how did you get into painting liveries?
Well, I started with Forza Motorsport 1, but my first contact with the paint editor was in the Forza Motorsport 2. But at that time, I didn't knew the full potential of the editor until I started to see some outstanding paintings being done, and I thought, well, I need to do this. I can make it too, and since then I'm trying.
Yeah, and succeeding as well. You've done a very wide variety of liveries, as we can see here. The chalkboard, it's so unique. I mean, you are a designer through and through. What do you enjoy about livery design specifically?
I like the way how you could transform the look of a car and give it personality. You can have the same car with different kinds of livery, and they will tell you something different, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you are an art director actually in the advertising industry as your day job, right? How does this sort of thing differ from what you do day to day?
Definitely, maybe for the creative freedom I have in Forza, and also for not having to work under pressure and with a deadline, and having a boss or a client telling you how to do it. You know, I believe that creativity flows better without pressure.
Absolutely. You're your own boss when you do liveries. You get to do whatever you want, whenever you want. Give it a break whenever you want to have a break. It's ideal, really. So today we are celebrating 10 years of Forza Horizon, and you have been a part of the community for all of those years. While celebrations don't kick off in-game until next week, you actually got an early start by making liveries for each of the Horizon titles cover cars, which is awesome. So let's take a look, and while we do, tell us what inspired you to design this series.
Well, the idea came right after I watched the video with the Viper running, and where the logos of each edition of the game start appearing in the sky, like the car was running through a timeline. I saw the video and I promptly thought that I need to paint something to celebrate.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a good inspiration point. I mean, not only have we got the art here, but I mean, these are homages that you created for each of the Forza Horizon game covers. So we're going to take a closer look at each of the cars, starting right at the beginning with the Viper from the original Forza Horizon. So was this the first one you designed?
Yes, the Viper was the first one, and then obviously I need to put a Viper on it, and then the snake scales and some Horizon elements.
I mean, yeah, the old Viper vibe definitely coming through all over the car. That snake skin is really, really cool as well, super detailed. Tell us about your design choices then.
I try to make them different from each other, and I try to blend my own style with some Horizon elements such as logos, scores, and patterns that I decide to create that brings the Horizon feeling to the livery.
You've got quite the set here. You created these as your own tribute to the Forza Horizon series, but many other members of the community have since downloaded your designs to use in their own photo and video tributes. So, I mean, what's it like seeing other people enjoying your designs, like not just liking and commenting, but like actually using them to create their own works of art?
I think this is absolutely fantastic, and it's such a recognition for us painters. I can't thank these guys enough for their time capturing those awesome images and having this car shooted by their talent eyes in something that really means a lot. I want to just give a huge shout out to Yarocon and Driven Pixels that shooted the whole set of these levers, and they did an amazing work.
It's a very collaborative process, all the different art styles you can go for with in Forza. But I mean, what is your ultimate goal in designing a livery? What are you looking for?
I think I always try to deliver something fresh, but also something sometimes something unexpected to see on a car, like textures or elements that you wasn't expecting to see on a car, and most of all that the people have fun while driving it.
Yeah, definitely. It makes everyone stand out. I mean, you have created hundreds of liveries, and I'm sure picking a favorite is pretty much impossible, but do you have a top three, would you say?
Yeah, it's a hard task, but I have some. I have the HR Geiger livery that I really like how it turned out.
Yeah, wow.
Also the Sandman livery. It's another one that I recently done. And the Sharkfest car as well. I like it pretty much.
What is it you enjoy about these designs more so than your other ones that makes them your favorites?
Well, the HR Geiger is, I always liked his work, and I never thought it was possible to me to replicate their art on a car. And I was afraid to try, but I decided to try, and I really like it. I think I did something I wasn't expecting I could do.
Yeah, pushing the boundaries.
Just like Sandman painting. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, my mind is always blown every time I see some of the artwork that comes out on the liveries. It is incredible. The vision that you have to put that onto the car using the tools you have in the livery editor will always blow my mind. But it's incredible looking.
Thank you.
And with the Sandman one in particular, are there any elements that you're particularly proud of here?
Well, the crown, definitely the crown, the hood. It had a shadow of the Sandman in his body, and I tried to work something I saw on the promotional poster they were using to promote this series, and was also something I was afraid to try, and I don't be afraid to try. Try. You might surprise yourself with what
Absolutely.
you can do.
What's the worst thing that happens? You just go, oh, that didn't work, and then just bin it, and no one has to see it. Might as well give it a go.
Yeah.
Why not? And then we've also got the Sharkfest one. I think we've got some pictures of that as well. So we're going to look at that. Look at that. That is, so you designed that with this particular car in mind, I have to assume, looking at that.
Yes, the great challenge here is I wanted to paint a shark underwater and try to fit it on a car that looks like a shark, but it don't have a huge surface to work. And it was a great challenge, and I think it turned out okay as well.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, the car's got fins. It's great. You couldn't find a more fitting car, really. That's awesome.
That's
and,
what I thought. I saw this car. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect for this project. The detail on there is crazy. And also the small details as well that you might not quite look at. And if you look closely at what's happening there, just I don't know, the color variation on the shark alone is blowing my mind. Like, you managed to get so much.
Yeah. I like to give the levers those little, I like to call eye candies.
Absolutely. And you succeed, because that is incredible looking.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your liveries with us. Thank you for sharing them with the entire Forza community and making sure that everyone can see your talent. It's been fantastic talking with you today. And thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate that, Leah. I just want to thank the studios, the whole team for the opportunity. I can't forget to thank you, my team, PTG, for all the support, and also to everyone that likes and follow my works. Really means a lot to me.
Definitely. And we're lucky to have you. Thank you so much, Fluex.
Thanks for having me.
Big round of virtual applause for PTG Fluex, and you can check out more of his designs and many of the tributes the community created with his 10-year anniversary liveries via the links in chat. Go check them out. They're all in there. Go have a look. The Community Spotlight is one of my favorite segments of the show. You guys are so talented, and being able to see the variety of talents on display throughout the community is always an absolute delight. So thank you. And if there is someone you believe should be recognized for their contributions to the Forza community, I want to meet them. I want to interrogate them, bring them over. You can nominate them for a chance to appear on the show using the link aka.ms/community spotlight. But now it's time, speaking of community, for some community events. So let's get our next guest out here. We're going to wheel him out. It's Turn 10 Community Manager, Ali Tak. Welcome back to Forza Monthly.
Hello. I'm being wheeled. I've been wheeled.
You're being wheeled, yes.
Good to see you.
gotta oil those squeaky wheels. It's time for your monthly roundup of everything that happens in the Forza community. So how are you feeling today? How are you doing?
I'm very well. Yeah, I'm feeling good. There's so much cool stuff to talk about, as there always is. You know, I'm never one to undersell it, but at the same time, there's some cool things to mention today. So I'm looking forward to cracking
cool
into
things.
it.
Yeah, we got some excellent cool things. All right, well, I mean, the community never sleeps. Because, it's the cool thing about a global audience, right? Time zones, nobody's ever sleeping, and even just, metaphorically so, everybody's busy creating all the time. So we've got some good stuff to look at today. Where do you want to start?
Well, the first thing we're going to kick off with is a cool livery sort of competition. It's been run by 100 Thieves. This is with Will Neff and Lexus. Voting, there's basically been some designs. We've been voting on them and see which one gets put into the game through the 100 Thieves community. It features the sort of iconic Will Neff flame iconography, and it's a cool livery to grab if you want some drama and style in the game. It's a fun one.
There you go. It's definitely dramatic.
Right now. Yeah. So there's a competition running, and you can go on.
No, I was just going to say I like that it looks like flame and camo. Somehow, it's got both vibes. Carry on. Sorry, I'm interrupting the important parts of this.
That's right. This is highly important stuff. No, it's an awesome design, and it's eye-catching. This is the whole thing. I mean, I think it'll be a great one to run. There is still a competition going though, and what the competition is to name the livery. So this is to give it an in-game name. You can put your name up on the list if you head on over to the Twitter right there and see if it gets picked. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'd go for. Do you have a name up your sleeve, Leo? Have you got anything that you've dreamed up for this one?
Okay, I said during rehearsals, Devil Drifter. I still feel like that kind of works.
Okay.
And we also said Neff, not Naff, if we want to go for like some sort of like word pun. We can go with that. But
I'll take either of these. I had nothing in rehearsal, and I have nothing now. I can't think of the name at all.
Take what we can get.
So I'm amazed by your creativity. That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
Hopefully you guys could come up with something better than we can, because we are apparently not very good at this. But I mean, with that in mind, is there still time to vote?
There is still time to vote. Head on over to Twitter. It's twitter.com/100thieves. And that's where you can get your vote on there. There are some amazing pun artists, I would call them, in the community. And so do your good work and think up something cool. And I'm sure there'll be a great name for it.
Yes. Come on, you can do it. Come up with something that's fitting in Forza Horizon. We know everybody loves their puns here. So, so aside from that, what else have you got for us today?
Yeah, so we're just off the back of the sort of final scheduled Tora endurance race of the season. Tora put on these amazing events, which are sort of very complicatedly put together with little stints sort of set up, and they'll run for maybe 24 hours or 12 hours. The most recent one was the Silverstone 12, and won very successfully by PTG. So we just saw PTG Fluex just there, but the wider racing team as well, bringing some success in for PTG. And then in the second class, ESV won the thing. I was really keen, especially now we're getting towards the end of sort of the endurance season, to catch up with Tora and see how they were doing. Have a little look as well about how difficult it can be to put these events together. So yeah, it's nice to have a little chat with those guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at that interview then, shall we?
I'm joined by Ben and Ted, two of the head honchos from Tora, the Online Racing Association. Hey guys, well, welcome along. Thank you for coming out. Ben, first of all, how are you doing, and how are you feeling after the big weekend?
I'm doing good. Unfortunately, I had some other things happening the weekend, so I missed pretty much 99% of the race. But I have a really good team behind me, with Ted pretty much like taking most of the work for this race, which I always appreciate him doing. And it's, from what I can tell, it was a very popular event and we didn't have that many administrative hiccups.
And Ted, how are you recovering after 12 hours of what sounds like a lot of work?
Let me put it this way. On Sunday, I think I got out of bed at like 3 p.m.
Yep.
So it was a long weekend, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. And
standard tour endurance stuff.
Standard tour endurance. Yeah, we had a huge amount of teams. I think we had 79 take the green flag, something like 250 something drivers. Basically 4 races going at the same time. So it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun.
What's your prep like for something like this? It's a big event, and there must be a lot of planning.
There's quite a lot that goes into this. We have to do the cars, the format, the balance of performance, we have a whole team for that, media, which has been falling to Ben for the most part this year. Actually getting all the teams processed, and if you tuned into one of the last Forza Monthlies, you saw our cool online race manager tool that TJ Steele made for us, so that's been helping a lot. And then actually running the race, the marshalling, the hosting, that's mainly my job. I'm in charge of that for Tora. And that is one of the hardest parts, just managing all the people, getting people to host all the lobbies and run through and take the results, and
it's
the race be a race.
It's more or less herding cats at some point, but
herding very wet cats that do not want to be herded.
Do you guys have any favorite moments? Not maybe from this race in particular, but from endurance racing throughout the whole year, because you've had a whole calendar of this.
Yeah, we have done quite a lot of races this year, starting all the way back in January with the 24 Hours of Daytona. And I'll take my favorite moment would actually be a collection of moments through the year. We've been using our event safety cars for the first stint to highlight some events near and dear to the community. For example, back in January, we did a tribute to AMS Custom Dips, who's still very unwell. Hope you get some respite soon, buddy. Sebring, we did a tribute for AX4X Nelly's wife, who sadly passed away. The car was covered in lavender, her favorite flower. And then most recently at Silverstone, we did a tribute with PTG Stuzib in honor of Dior Mardag's late son, Mozart, who sadly passed away less than a month ago. So I think that's been a really touching thing we've been able to and connect with some more people.
You know, I've done so many of these races that I'm always surprised at just the racing in general, how seriously the community continues to take our endurance events.
Silverstone was the last event on your official calendar, if you like. Is that the last event of the year?
It
No.
is not, no.
No, it is
So
not.
we are doing something a little bit different for the last endurance race of this year. Tor has played with doing community voted events in the past, and they often end up in the realm of how typical internet votes end up. Particularly, I'm talking about the last community voted championship included a 3-class event with a radical, the Ford Supervan, and a Mazda MX-5 Cup, all on track at the same time.
Sounds great.
Including a round at Top Gear Test Track.
The voting
sad I
at
missed
place
that.
rule, yeah.
Yep. We've done 2 rounds of voting. You can go check out the results on our Discord, which we'll link somewhere.
It's in chat. It's in chat. Yeah.
It's in chat, yeah. So you can follow us on Twitter at @thereal_Tora. That's where we do pretty much the majority of all of our announcements. You can find our Discord link on there. If you go to racetora.com, that will take you directly to our forums where we usually list all of the race information about the events that we're currently running or future events or other things along those lines.
And you can always reach out to us privately if you can't get into any of the other platforms for some reason, either Xbox, Twitter, Discord, whatever works best. We'll be happy to point you in the right direction.
Brilliant. All right, well, thank you so much for coming along. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Herding wet cats, certainly one way to put it.
Right, it's the community organizing experience right there. Yeah.
We all know it. So that was Tora, who they put together a lot of events in the racing scene. You've probably heard of them because we talk about them all the time here on Forza Monthly, don't we? So is there anything you wanted to point out from Tora? Have we got any more events coming up this week for them or this month?
There's loads more going on at Tora. Head on over to racetora.com. It made me smile when those two said goodbye at exactly the same moment. They've been working together for a while, and they did that a few times in the interview. So I have a supercut. I don't know if it's gonna ever make the air, but there is a supercut out there of all the things they said at exactly the same time as each other. Those cuties, so absolutely.
Excellent. So yeah, do check out Tora if you're interested in racing or community in general. Always a good time. And what about in-game events? Anything going on in Forza Motorsport 7 this month?
There definitely is. Yeah, there's a really cool event going on right now. If you go on over to the Rivals section of Forza Motorsport 7 and go to Featured Rivals, you'll find the Hot Rod Revivals. Rival? Enjoy saying that 5 times in a row.
Rivals.
Revivals. Yeah. I did it once and I'm not going back. I'm not revisiting that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Rob. That one wraps up on October 11th, so there's still some time to take part, and it's in the Chevy Bel Air Forza edition. You saw it just there. One of the things to shout out about that event is how awesome the paint is. It's a beautiful paint and a livery that you'll get for taking part in the event, and so it's well worth your time to have a spin around Long Beach in that big old heavy hot rod.
Excellent. And speaking of rivals, we've got some Forza Motorsport 7 Horizon rivals, which is like, that's a whole load of words right there. So then we've got a schedule to look out for them.
That's right. We've got a schedule right here. This is in honor of the 10-year anniversary of Forza Horizon, and this is in Forza Motorsport 7. There's 4 different Rivals events that are going to coincide with our sort of anniversary celebrations. There's lots of different driver gear up for grabs, including the M. Rossi driver gear, which is quite a rare one, so do go and grab that. And if you participate in all 4 of these events, so we'll be watching and making sure that you run a lap in every single one, then you'll get a very special prize, which is the 1958 MG twin cam that you can see right there. So lots and lots up for grabs here in the anniversary event on the FM7.
Excellent, thank you. And if you want another nice list of things to look at, we've got a community calendar for you. And of course, we have to end the
We love a
community
list.
event segment on a community calendar. So yeah, what have you got here?
This is, the month upcoming. Lots of cool things going on. I think the couple of things that I wanted to shout out. One is the Sierra Verde round 4 of 1 hour of racing. That's some endurance racing on Forza Horizon 5. So do take a look at that. And the other thing is the Halloween Horror Show competition. I've been chatting loads recently with FH Livery and Designs. They've got some amazing plans for this competition. So if you're out there doing a few paints, throwing some colors around, maybe inspired by Fluex, then if they happen to be Halloween themed, then submit them in the competition. Why don't you?
Why don't you? Sounds like a good time. Hey. I mean, it's always nice to have a prompt, isn't it, for livery design? Always nice to get inspired by Halloween, so
I
expecting
think
lots
so,
of pumpkin
yeah.
Halloween.
It helps me sort of percolate ideas a little bit. Maybe something
Exactly.
pumpkin themed this year, you know? I've done
Yeah,
pumpkin paint before.
there's so many ways you could go with Halloween as well. So many different ways. I look forward to seeing those next month, hopefully. But that is all we have time for the community calendar. So thank you so much, Ali, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks a lot.
We are nearing the end of the show, but there are a couple more things to mention before I turn you over to Charlie for the Let's Go stream, so stick around for that. But we have Forza's friends at the Peterson Automotive Museum and Neo collaborated to create this gorgeous EP9 art car, which is designed by the artist Ornamental Conifer. And you can find the share code and a link to the artist in chat. So if you want to grab that, then feel free to do so. Follow Forza Horizon on Twitter for more information. And there are more Forza streams for you to tune into this week. So if you want to catch some more Forza action, then do feel free to check these out. Let's Go is up next. And then afterwards, we'll be raiding Batman ST, who was on our show last month, if you remember. He'll no doubt be joined by his trusty sidekicks, Batbabe and Charles the Corgi. So stick around to see the Bat Fam in action. They've built a lovely, welcoming community and always have something fun in the works. And it was a pleasure to speak with them on the last community spotlight we did. I would highly, highly recommend. And then if you come hang out tomorrow, Turn 10 will be here for a special Hispanic Heritage Month edition of Forza Friday. And that is our show for today. A huge thank you to all of our guests and all of you for watching. And give us a follow on here and all of the Forza social channels for more great streams, information, and fun content. That's all from me. I'll see you next month. But before you go, check out this amazing video for the Forza liveries from week 29. See you next time.